a young man who I believe to be completely sincere in what he had to say. And I'm referring, of course, to the man who has just walked out, Michael Hayes. And I do want to talk to Michael because he has had some profound changes in his life recently, and I think that all of you would do well to bear in mind what he has to say.
Gordon, a lot of people's wondered what's happened to Michael Hayes in the last 6 weeks. A lot of people's wondered what happened to the fabulous Freebirds, and maybe that would be a nice place to start. You know, I don't know if there's one significant thing. I don't know if there's one thing you could put your finger on. I still ain't quite sure I understand it. But nevertheless, I think something had to do with maybe the last match with the Andersons in the Omni. Ole Anderson sold me out flatter than a dog. And Terry, man, Terry and I have been down so many roads together. And we had, I mean, I couldn't go into the times we had together, man. I mean, you couldn't write a book about it. You couldn't make a movie about it. I mean, the times we got stuck on the mountain in the snow in Chattanooga in the blizzard, it goes on and on. 4 years, brother, side by side. And you walked right out on me. Now, when the ship was sinking, the captain went down with the ship. But Terry walked out on me. It blew my mind, Gordon Soley. I'm here to tell you it blew my mind. So I said, well, I'm going to pack my bags, and I'm going to go home, and I'm going to get my act together. And I went home, and I thought, well, I'm just going to be cool, and I'm going to lay out and see all my friends. I figured they're going to have a little bit of sympathy for Michael Hayes. Well, you know, I went to a good friend's house, Gordon Soley. Boy's name's Frumpy. You know, he got that long hair and a beard. That's why we call him Frumpy. And we were celebrating America's birthday on July 4th, and it started at 2, and it was on about midnight, and everybody was feeling just about right. And now, wait a minute, the boy come up to me, and he looked me straight in the eye, and this boy's like 5'10", and when somebody looks you in the eyes and they got something to say, they say it to you, you know what they're talking about. And he said to me, he said, no, we've been friends a long time. I've known you a long time, since you was just a kid. And he said, I know you've always been cocky, and I know you like to dress flashy and be fancy. He said, that's fine, because that's you. He said, but I think you forgot something that's very, very important. He said, you forgot where you came from. He said, you forgot that you started down here, and before you became big time, that you was right here with the rest of us. And he said, if you think for 1 minute that I am the only person that can relate to Freebird, he said, you're crazy, because there's a whole bunch of us right here at this party. He said, when you were up there, we felt like a part of us was up there. Just a little incentive that maybe the little man can make it big. And that blew me away. I had to leave the party. I said, I can't handle this. And the last thing, man, I was packing my bags leaving town. I said goodbye to my mother. Me and my old lady got in the car, and my little brother come out to me. He's 13 years old. 13 years old, Gordon Soley. Both me and him ain't never been raised by no daddy. We never had no daddy, and then don't get me wrong, I ain't complaining. My mama did a fine job. But I always wanted my brother to come up right. And I always thought that I gave him the right kind of advice. He come up to me, he said, you know, Michael, he said, you've been an inspiration to me. He said, I've always looked up to you because you made it. And he said, you've always told me what to do to make it. He said, but I got to tell you something. He said, you told me go out and get what I want. He said, I can see you're sitting home right now, and you're telling everybody that you're happy and you're fine sitting on this beach, but it's a lie. Because you want to be right back up there in Atlanta, Georgia, doing your thing like you should. Now, he said, now how am I supposed to go on if you won't practice what you preach? Well, let me tell you something, Roy. Let me send this special message out to my little brother, because right now he's in Sarasota. He's playing for the 13-year-old Pensacola All-Stars in the state championship. You get out there and you play your butt off, boy. You do whatever it takes to win. Because if you need somebody to follow, if you need somebody for guidance, you got him. That's me. That's right, that's me. Because, hey, well, let me tell you something. Now, the kids have to have direction, man. If the kids don't have direction, where are they going to go? And I've done everything. I have done everything possible that a man could do, and I can't come out here and say that I didn't mean to do it. But I can say one thing. I can try to rectify what I have done. And as far as anybody's concerned, I got just as much right to be here as anybody. I got just as much right to be here. So let me put it plain let me put it sweet. Fantasia is alive and well, and it's back in Atlanta to raise some hell.
Well, there you have it. Obviously, quite a change of heart, quite a change of philosophy. And this young man still very brash, but as I said...
Hey, I cannot express what it felt when my little brother came up and said that to me. I mean, hey, he ain't never had a daddy. If I don't set an example, who's gonna do it?
And you mean the right example?
I'm mean the right example. Now, you know the Freebird song. It said, Lord knows I can't change, but I can make things get right, Gordon Soley. I've made my mind up. And as you know, anytime Michael Hayes has ever promised something, no matter what it was, he delivered. And I'm promising you this.
Thank you so very much. Hang around, because I want to talk to you a little bit later on, okay? Don't leave, because I do want...
Come to start no trouble, and that's what I said. I didn't come to start no trouble. This ain't none of my business, so for one time, I'm going to keep my nose out of it.
Well, I can certainly understand that, and I admire your restraint on that, because obviously Mr. Patera took undue advantage of Ken Eaton and doing what he did and putting that full Nelson to him. Nonetheless, of course, Michael, I felt, as I said earlier, when I talked to you, I felt you were very sincere about what was on your mind, and it's frankly, if that's the case... Whoop, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Well, outside of camera range right now is Terry Gordy. Mike, I had
An interview with these men? I'll step aside.
Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate it. I'd prefer not to have any problems here on the set. Let me talk to Terry Gordy for just a moment.
What's this guy doing back? You know, Gordon Sully, there's a lot of things going on around here that I don't like. And one thing is, Michael Hayes is back in town. You know, I heard you, boy. I hear talking about your little brother and trying to make all the people feel sorry for you. Well, let me tell you something, boy. Nobody cares about your little brother. Nobody cares about you, Michael Hayes. So I don't know why in the world you're back in Georgia. You don't belong here, boy. And you know something, Gordon? I told the boy that he better be gone when I got back. And now here he is back, Gordon Soley. Ah!
I'll tell you what, let's talk about tomorrow night at the Omni here in Atlanta at 8 o'clock. You and Terry Gordy going up against a very, very powerful combination of Ted DiBiase and Tommy Wildfire Rich.
You know, there's something about Tommy and Ted DiBiase. But right now, at the moment, my man is hot because of one reason. Now, I don't know what's been going on in the past, but I just finally realized something. As we seen this blonde geek coming out here and mouthing off his big mouth like a big shot. Let me tell you something, Blondie. If you ever interfere in our business, believe me.
That's right, baby. And the Omni, Wildfire, and Ted DiBiase. You want some stuff? You want some of the champions? Come on and get us, baby, because we're going to tear your head off.
Ladies and gentlemen, this special attraction tag team event, one fall with a 15-minute time limit. One fall 15 from Edina, Minnesota. The heavyweight wrestling champion at 235 pounds. Here's Steve O. His partner from Omaha, Nebraska at 246 pounds, Ted DiBiase. Their opponents are the Georgia Tag Team Champions from the Fiji Islands at 245 pounds, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and his partner from Chattanooga at 270 pounds, the former Freebird, Terry Gordy. One fall, 15.
One fall, a 15-minute time limit, and it's Terry Gordy and Jimmy Snuka moving out against Ted DiBiase and Steve-O.
Freddie Miller got that right when he said former.
That was the voice of Michael Hayes, and of course I appreciate the fact that Michael Hayes did not allow a situation to be created here at the desk.
Well, no, it's just the fact that I come out here just to say something that I had on my mind that I wanted to express. Mainly, I hope my little brother, the message got to him. But I ain't got, it's not my business. That's why I didn't mess with the terror, and that's why if they had the interview, then I'll let them have it.
Fair enough. DiBiase locks up now, collar and elbow with Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Gets a side headlock. Snuka brought down. Beautiful hip lock takedown by DiBiase. Al DiBiase and Steve-O wanted this match, and Terry Gordy and Snuka said they didn't have any competition. They found it now, that's for sure. Tag is made. Terry Gordy moves in, and DiBiase was set and ready.
You know something about Terry, though? You look at him, as big as he is, he's got to be one of the fastest men in the ring for his size, Gordon Sullivan.
No question about that. Beautiful shoulder smash by Gordy. That time, however, DiBiase was set and ready for him. Kept his beautiful arm drag takedown, and Gordy's back to the canvas. Tag is made, and Steve-O moves in. Arm drag and twist now on Terry Gordy. And Steve-O, wasting no time in punishing Gordy, now makes the tag with DiBiase. So they've got their teamwork down, I think, exceptionally well.
Yeah, you got to admit, ain't no lying. If you're lying, you're dying. The boys have definitely been tagging up and been, checking the stuff out. It looks good. Whether it's going to win the match, that's another thing.
Yeah, it's just
like anything, Gordon. The thing ain't over till the three count comes down, till the last out is made, or till the last tick of the clock.
Wow, Gordy exploded with a right hand that staggered Steve-O. Catches him with another hard right hand to the top of the head, and Steve-O in trouble now as Terry Gordy unleashes those right hands like bombs.
Aggressiveness.
And Snuka has that same kind of aggressiveness. Now rips across the face of Steve-O, and again uses that forearm and the fist, and Steve-O in trouble now. Fires to the midsection. Snuka retaliates, one to the side of the head. A chop into the chest, and Steve-O would be well served to get over and tag up with DiBiase. They're double teaming, and they have Steve-O in trouble on those ropes now. Referee warning Snuka now to go back outside the ring into his own corner.
He looks in trouble, Gordon Sullivan.
Snuka. And
now this is the part of a match that I particularly like, is when you're taking a good whooping and you got to get it all down from inside and come back. You know what I'm talking about? Because if you can't do that, in my opinion, you ain't nobody. I mean, I ain't never been one to hold my opinion back. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, point by Michael Hayes, and it is Steve-O still in trouble and still needs to get over there and tag up if he can. Snuka makes the tag and is out there against Steve-O. Steve-O, good reversal.
He hung in there. He hung in.
Makes the tag with Ted DiBiase, and DiBiase, thoroughly enraged, comes charging into the ring. Catches Terry Gordy in a beautiful flying drop kick that has Snuka back to the canvas once again. And Ted DiBiase. That adrenaline is really flowing now as he crashes down.
The thing can change. It's how quick the thing can change. It's why your mind has got to be on the match 100% of the time.
Certainly no question about that.
I'm thinking 2 steps ahead. At least that's the way I always start, and it always seemed to work.
DiBiase keeping the armbar on the Superfly Snuka. Terry Gordy on the outside of the ring, and Steve-O getting a much-needed respite in his own corner, and the crowd now chanting for a good fireman carry takedown by DiBiase. Has Snuka back to the canvas.
The thing that DiBiase do here, in my opinion, is to wear down Snuka just like they did Steve-O. So you give Steve-O a rest like he's trying to do, and wear down one man. It's when they're tagging in and out when it's hard.
Snuka trying to drive over to tag up. Makes the tag with Terry Gordy. And it's Gordy and Snuka both double teaming here before the count.
Tell you what, when that big boy hits you, you know it.
DiBiase just found out as Gordy caught him coming off the ropes. And DiBiase trying to regain his feet.